Good morning and welcome. Oh, I've got LinkedIn user. Something's going on. I used to say me using Sherman Woods, but hello, LinkedIn user. We're going to get started very, very soon. Just allowing people to shoot on in. Probably can't even hear me over the music. That's okay. Well, let's get this thing happening. Don't you hate when you go to a meeting, presentation, whatever, and the presenter is all about getting feedback from the audience? And they are so obsessed about, I've got to make the audience do different things. Or we get addicted to, well, I can't present here because I have no audience and I need an audience. That time has passed. We need to be so good that we don't need an audience. I mean, I reckon the only person who truly needs an audience would be stand-up comedians. And then, if they're good enough, they probably actually don't really need that. Welcome to the, I don't know which number it is, but there's lots of numbers out there. It's the Making Events Awesome live stream. My name's Warwick Merry, triple award-winning, triple certified, triple. And I've just been really considering about how people are addicted to audiences. And it's not just speakers, it's also managers. It's right up there with, oh, people must be in the office. If they're not in the office, I can't see them doing anything, then they're not working. And it's like, why is it that we need to see everything that's going on? Now, this comes about in its most obvious form in presenting hybrid or presenting direct virtual. There are so many presenters who just, they suffer from not having the feedback. They don't give as much energy. And you can be in a meeting, maybe it's on a presenter, and they're just going through the motions. And they're just talking, they're not even looking at the camera, like they're looking over here at the side. So I wanted to cover just some really simple basics. They're what I call the Holy Trinity to start with. And the Holy Trinity is quite simply, you've got to have the right lighting. So we've got to be able to see you. If we can't see you, it's so much harder to connect. So it's very simple to have the right lighting. And I think we've been around enough and done enough online stuff to understand that lighting is important. We don't want to backlight because then you're in the shade. It feels like you're on some investigative reporter. You know, what were you doing the night of the 15th? So don't have any bright lights behind you, but have some bright lights at the front, maybe one overhead. And you don't have to go out and buy special lighting. The lights that I'm using in here in my studio, which is code for third bedroom, is just some old lamps that I had lying around that I got. Yes, I got a colored globe for the one behind me, and I got some little LED lights over there, but it's just pretty basic lighting. But be aware of it to make sure your whole face is lit up. That's number one, lighting. Number two is make sure your composition is right. It's so much easier to connect with you and listen and engage with you if not only is your head on screen, but it takes up most of the screen. I'm a huge believer in getting inspiration from people who get paid a ton of cash. Newsreaders, late night talk show hosts, anyone doing sort of commercial interviews, look at them, look at what they're doing, get some ideas from what they are doing. You don't necessarily need a 2-camera shoot, but I'll tell you what you don't want, and that is with your head right down here or off to a side, or a laptop where we can look right up your nose. I've seen highly paid speakers use laptops in airports and we're just looking up their nose for an hour and a half. It doesn't take much effort to, you know, stick your laptop on a couple of phone books. Remember phone books, kids? Maybe you've got a little stool or something. So you're looking at an eye height with that composition. Get that composition right. It's really important. Here's the thing. It's the third thing. The sound that knocks the other two out of the park. I can put up with it if I can't quite see you because your lighting's dodgy. I can put up with it if you're a bit blurry and your background's a bit stuffed. I will not put up with bad sound. If I can't hear you, if the sound is a bit crackly, if it's not doing what I want it to do to be able to hear it, I will turn you off. The number of podcasts that people will start listening to and go, oh, the sound quality was just so bad I couldn't do it. It's better to turn it off. It's like listening to a radio with static. You know, you go into a shop or a doctor or a pharmacist and they've got the radio playing in the background and yet it's not quite tuned and all you can hear is how bad it is. Don't have that as a distraction. Really focus on getting the sound right. By the way, here's the bonus fourth one for the Trinity. Yes, I get Trinity's really only, 3. What I suggest to you is that you need to look down the barrel of the camera. Now, you can buy special whiz bang cameras that sit over the front of your monitor, and you can get teleprompters that hook up to a monitor so you can look at them. There's some new AI that'll adjust your eyes on the go. So you can actually look over here, but it makes your eyes look like you're looking down the camera. Personally, it's so much easier. Train yourself to look down the barrel of the camera. Yeah, you can glance to the side, look at your notes. You can, gesticulate, do whatever. But if you spend the majority of the time looking down the barrel of the camera, you are going to connect so much better with those watching. And that's what counts. It's not about you. It's all about the delegates. It's all about your audience and how much you can connect with them. So you don't need to have that audience feedback. You don't need the people in the room. I know as a speaker, there's been times I've been speaking and the audience is just dead quiet. I like to think I'm a funny guy and they're dead quiet. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've lost them. They're off. They're not with me. They're thinking of other things. They're off in la la land. And after the presentation, so many people would come up to you and say, that was so good. Like, I really enjoyed it. They loved what you said about. So what was happening is they were so with me and so connected that they were just listening. They weren't laughing. They weren't crying. They weren't frowning. They were just listening and present. So sometimes you can't depend on the audience feedback either. So as a presenter, as someone who runs a meeting, as someone who's getting an event organized, can I encourage you to make sure that whoever is speaking is not addicted to the audience, that they're confident enough in who they are, their abilities to deliver, and they know the basic techniques to be able to deliver. It's so important in the world that we live in where, look, so many meetings now are done on camera. So many events, we have someone coming in on camera. So get better at it. We now live in this world, get better. And we're only talking little tweaks, like really little tweaks that'll just make you stand out. If you just, at the very least, start with that holy trinity, add the bonus of looking down the camera, that's going to make a massive difference. And just know that you're doing a good job. I like to tell my clients when I'm coaching them, be yourself, amplified. So don't be, hey, everybody, we're doing a thing. Just be yourself, but put a bit of extra effort into it. Like, give a little bit more energy, particularly if you're presenting online, because all they've got is the energy you give. So be yourself, amplified, and you're going to make such a stronger connection. I hope that makes sense. It's been a delight sharing with you some of these philosophies on how to overcome audience addiction. I hope that you've been able to overcome yours or got some ideas on what you can do. Come and join us. We'd love to have you come and join us at the Making Events Awesome group. We just have some different conversations. We put a little bit of resources there. If you're into events and you want to make yours awesome, come and join us. All right, I'll be back next week, Thursday, 9 a.m., just for a little burst of delight, bit of happiness, and a few little tips and tricks and trips and whatever it is, it's all good. And I will go and investigate why it's coming up saying LinkedIn user. Usually I get who their name is. Maybe there's but thank you for saying yep. I appreciate it. It makes me happy. It's a delight. All right. See you next week. Thanks for being here. End of live stream dance. Turn that off. See you next week. Woo-hoo.